Welcome to the Deep Dive. Our mission, as always, is simple. We take your sources, could be articles, notes, anything really, and we help you pull out the absolute core insights.
Think of it as your shortcut to getting genuinely informed. We sift through it all, find the nuggets.
And today, we've got something pretty cool. It's an advanced look at a new book coming soon from our partners over at Bald and Bonkers Network, LLC.
Oh, exciting. A sneak peek.
Yeah, it's called Emissary by Elton Henderson. Sci-fi.
Sci-fi often tackles some big ideas. I'm curious what this one gets into.
Well, we have excerpts covering the plot right from the start, almost to the very end.
Okay, so we can really track the narrative, the characters' journeys.
Exactly. Our goal here is to unpack that story, see how these characters navigate their world, and figure out what insights we can take away from this particular tale based on what's in these excerpts.
Sounds good. A story that seems to start with, well, a deception.
It does. Let's dive in. It kicks off in what seems like this peaceful commune right here on Earth.
Right. Led by this figure, Eleanor. And she has this extraordinary claim. She's in touch with aliens.
The Galactic Federation promises a glorious future, a sacred mission, the whole deal.
But it's not real. The source material makes it clear she's putting on a show.
A very elaborate one, using technological marvels, it says.
Yeah, things like holographic projections, clever engineering.
Yeah.
Illusions, basically. And it's all built from scavenged Earth tech, made to look alien. It's designed purely to inspire awe and, frankly, obedience.
And into this setup steps our skeptic, Dr. Thorne. He starts seeing cracks.
He does. He's a scientist, so he's naturally questioning. He notices inconsistencies in her stories, the tech she shows off, even these supposed miracle healings.
He digs into the technology first, right? The communication devices.
He analyzes them and finds, well, they're just really advanced radios.
Not alien communicators.
No, they're playing pre-recorded messages. Sophisticated ones, mind you, with algorithms to make them seem interactive and personal. But when he points this out, he's basically told he just doesn't understand alien tech. Dismissed.
And the healings. He looks into those too.
He manages to get hold of old medical records from before people joined, and he finds a pattern. A lot of these miracles, they involved psychosomatic conditions.
So belief played a huge role.
A massive role. The commune's intense faith amplified the placebo effect hugely. The source mentions a radiant glow that was a visual effect, a potent cocktail she gave out, just a placebo, timed perfectly with her rituals.
Wow. So Eleanor's managing this complex web of lies. How does she handle Thorne's digging?
Outwardly, calm, serene. But inside, the source says she's getting uneasy. She starts subtly painting Thorne and any skepticism as untrustworthy, calls it heresy.
Creating a rift.
Exactly. And she's got this extra layer of anxiety because the very thing she's faking an alien arrival might actually be, well, happening, or something like it. The timing is intense.
And Thorne's realization must be chilling, seeing the commune for what it is.
Yeah, he stops seeing it as a sanctuary. He realizes it's a carefully constructed prison of belief. He knows exposing Eleanor is probably the only chance they have. So he starts documenting everything he finds. Secretly. In a hidden journal.
Because the real storm is coming. The fake narrative is about to crash into reality.
Absolutely, because then something does appear in the sky. And it's nothing like Eleanor's fakes.
How is described?
As a shimmering distortion. Not like an aurora, but something tangible, pulsating. Even Eleanor feels this unease. This isn't part of her script.
And Thorne, the scientist, he knows immediately this is different.
Oh, yeah. His scientific brain kicks in. He sees unnatural precision, this unsettling geometry. He just knows it's fundamentally alien. It dwarfs anything Eleanor faked. The fear becomes very real.
And this distortion forms into a ship, but still not what Eleanor described.
Not at all. The description is impossible design. It's somehow organic yet technological. Shifting, rippling, pulsing with light. It seems to break the known laws of physics. The awe turns to sheer terror pretty fast.
Then come the beams. The first one is information.
Yeah, a beam of pure energy, but it's described as a focused wave of information hitting their minds directly. For Thorne, it's overwhelming. Data, images, concepts. A glimpse into a truly advanced consciousness. Terrifying, but also breathtaking.
But there's a second beam.
Yes, and this one's different, much more powerful, not a message.
A demonstration.
Exactly, a raw demonstration of power. It makes the vast technological gap terrifyingly clear. Thorne gets it instantly. Humanity is incredibly fragile, the commune's little bubble shattered.
And Eleanor. Does she finally admit her deception was exposed?
No, that's what's wild. The source says she refused to acknowledge the warning. still clinging to her salvation narrative, her Galactic Federation. Even as the shadows of actual galactic war start falling, her commune just collapses into fear and paranoia. Total betrayal felt by everyone.
This arrival then escalates very quickly into Earth falling, right?
Devastatingly fast. The aliens, we learn later, they're called the Voidbringers. Their scout ship reports back, and their council decides on a full invasion.
And their reason isn't typical conquest, according to the source.
Right, that's a key point. It's framed as preemptive containment. They see Eleanor's cult, this mix of lies and intense belief, as a kind of ideological virus, something potentially contagious and destabilizing on a galactic scale.
So invading Earth is galactic pest control.
In a horrifying way, yes, to protect the wider galactic stability from this perceived threat.
And their methods are brutally efficient. Methodical, surgical.
Yeah, their tech is just beyond human understanding. It operates on different physical principles. The first strike isn't a battle, it's an excision.
Like New York City.
A blinding flash then. Nothing. Complete instantaneous annihilation. A gaping void left behind. The source calls it a precise, controlled manipulation of space-time.
And it wasn't just New York.
No. Simultaneously, London, Paris, Tokyo, major centers just vanish. It's a calculated move, a strategic dismantling of human infrastructure, designed to make resistance impossible from the start.
The chaos must have been unimaginable.
Absolute pandemonium. Communications gone, transport gone, society just unravels. Back to primal survival almost instantly.
And Earth's militaries. Completely useless.
Utterly. Jets, vaporized, missiles just dissolve. Their weapons are on a different plane of existence, as the source puts it. That first wave was pure preemptive annihilation. Cripple the ability to fight back before a fight could even begin.
So escape is the only option for anyone left.
For the very few who can. Eleanor is now a fugitive, ironically, and Thorne, Sarah, Mark, this small group, manages to get off Earth in some kind of escape vessel. Their journey isn't just about survival. For Eleanor, it's described like a desperate pilgrimage of atonement, that utopian dream she sold, now just ashes and despair.
And Sarah's question really hits home, doesn't it? How much longer can we last like this?
It captures their desperation perfectly. Supplies low, constantly hunted, not just by aliens, but maybe by desperate human remnants, too. Hope is thin.
But then a lifeline appears, unexpectedly.
It does. They're in this pod, the Hope, and they get a message. Not fake this time. Real coordinates. Benevolent aliens, the Ethel. They apparently observed Earth's fall and are offering sanctuary. Their world is hidden inside the Whispering Nebula.
So getting through this nebula is their only path. That sounds dangerous.
It's described as a nightmare, constant adjustments, split-second decisions. The nebula itself is like a cosmic battering ram, unpredictable gravity, radiation bursts. Their pod's shielding is barely holding.
And the Voidbringers are still out there.
Oh, yeah. They keep picking up intermittent scans from the invaders' ships. It's this constant, terrifying game of cosmic hide-and-seek.
And inside the pod, things aren't exactly harmonious either.
No, the stress and trauma boil over. Sarah's disillusionment with Eleanor, Mark's grief and anger over losing his family, Thorne's own sense of failure. It all comes out. Arguments, fear, the weight of everything they lost. Eleanor's betrayal hangs heavy.
And this tension almost leads to disaster.
Yeah, there's an energy surge, knocks out navigation, total darkness, panic. But Mark, his engineering skills suddenly become critical. He manages to reroute power just in time, avoiding a collision.
A serious wake-up call.
Definitely. They realize they have to work together. Put aside their individual grievances, pool their skills. It's the only way they'll survive the final, most dangerous part of the nebula.
The core region.
Right. Intense energy fluctuations. Needs perfect navigation. Mark's improvising, Thorne's knowledge of celestial mechanics, they become absolutely vital.
And they make it.
They do. The nebula finally thins out and they see it. Xylos. Vibrant green and blue. A genuine beacon of hope. The Ethel welcome them. It's not the easy utopia Eleanor spun, but it's a real chance. A chance to rebuild.
It's fascinating, this contrast.
Yeah.
Eleanor's fake paradise versus the real challenges and opportunities on Xylos. What are the native Xylosians like?
Peaceful, technologically superior, and they communicate differently through images projected into minds.
Whoa, telepathy.
Sort of, yeah. It's a huge adjustment for the humans. The Xylosians are deeply connected to their planet, valuing harmony, cooperation, interconnectedness above all.
But settling in isn't easy for the survivors, physically.
Not at all. High gravity is tough, muscle fatigue, bone density issues. The atmosphere, while breathable, causes initial discomfort, headaches. They have to adapt everything, tools, clothes, techniques, just to function day to day.
So building their community is about adapting their bodies as much as building shelters.
Exactly. They start dividing tasks. Mark handles construction. Sarah, surprisingly, finds a knack for adapting to the alien plants and animals, becoming key for agriculture. Thorne uses his science skills for life support analysis.
And governance. How do they decide to run things?
They deliberately move away from Earth's hierarchies. It's rudimentary at first, based on shared responsibility, mutual respect, decisions by consensus. It's not perfect, there are conflicts, but they try to resolve them peacefully. It becomes this symbol of human resilience.
And learning from the Xylotians must be critical. The cultural exchange.
Absolutely fundamental. The Xylotians share their ways gradually, rituals, beliefs. The humans learn about their deep sense of interconnectedness. It's a slow process, lots of misunderstandings, but the Xylotians are patient teachers. They even start blending human and Xylotian stories and myths.
What about technology? Do the Xylotians just hand over advanced gadgets?
No, it's deeper than that. They share the principles behind their tech. Sustainable energy, harnessing their twin suns. Resource management, waste disposal. The humans then take that knowledge, adapt it, reverse engineer. They create things like more portable power sources, bioluminescent pathways, biodegradable vehicles.
It's a genuine collaboration.
Yeah.
Sparking new human innovation but guided by Xylotian ethics.
Precisely. It's a renaissance, but focused on sustainability and integration, not dominance. Education changes, too. It becomes experiential, collaborative, using simulations, holograms, blending human and Xylotian approaches.
And you mentioned they reject Earth's flawed systems, like the economy.
Yes, this is huge, a conscious rejection of unchecked capitalism and inequality. They build a resource-based economy, meaning community well-being comes first, not money. Resources get allocated based on need and contribution, managed by collaborative systems. Work becomes about contributing your skills to shared projects you care about. The whole mindset shifts from accumulation and competition to collective goals and cooperation. Currency pretty much disappears.
And justice follows a similar path.
Restorative justice, focusing on root causes, healing, reconciliation. Mediation, restorative circles are the norm. Punishment is rare and focused only on rehabilitation.
They seem to be actively designing social harmony.
Through community centers, through an education system that teaches empathy, critical thinking, tolerance, conflict resolution, preparing everyone for this diverse, multi-species society.
So they're not just surviving on Xylos, they're consciously building something better, fundamentally different.
Shaped directly by the trauma they endured, yes, a complete rethinking.
But that trauma doesn't just vanish, right? The loss of Earth must still haunt them.
Oh, absolutely. It's a deep collective wound. Nightmares, flashbacks, fear the source makes it clear these are ongoing struggles.
How do they approach healing this kind of massive trauma?
It's multi-layered. Xylotian counselors facilitate group therapy. They also introduce Xylotian techniques like narrative reframing, helping people reinterpret traumatic memories, moving from victimhood to resilience, not forgetting, but integrating the past, understanding the manipulation they experienced.
And Eleanor plays a role in this, her redemption arc.
It's quite something. She transforms from the manipulator into an advocate for healing. She learns from the Xylotians, uses her understanding of psychology to help others. She starts support groups.
Does she face her own past?
Directly. She shares her story, the ambition, the lies, the consequences, not for pity, but as a stark warning. And crucially, she uses her expertise in manipulation to teach others how to spot it. Media literacy, verifying sources, dangers of echo chambers. She ensures the kids learn the real history of Earth's fall, including human failures.
So her legacy shifts completely.
It becomes complex, about transformation, accountability. She becomes a tool for vigilance. She even uses her old spy skills for practical things like secure communication, helps ensure resources are shared equitably, learning directly from her past abuses of power.
And other characters help preserve this history, too.
Yes, Anya's research uncovers bits of Eleanor's own past, suggesting maybe she was manipulated initially, and she documents how her own science was twisted.
And Elias, the journalist.
He becomes the chronicler. Planning this massive archive recordings, testimonies, Eleanor's confession, a memorial but also a guide, to make sure the lessons stick.
Memorials become important, too.
Physical ones like planting special Xylotian trees, digital memorials using their tech, remembering specific heroes from all species involved. It's about shared grief, shared respect, integrating loss into their ongoing lives.
So healing is this constant, active process involving everyone, drawing on both human and alien wisdom.
Deeply integrated, acknowledging the past to build a stronger future.
Okay, connecting back to building that future, exploring Xylos itself must be vital.
Definitely. With Xylosion help, they start cataloging the incredible biodiversity.
Like what? Any cool examples?
Oh, yeah. The gloomwood giant bioluminescent trees with complex symbiotic relationships, whispering butterflies, an entire river ecosystem, the river glow, with fish that communicate using light, jellyfish manipulating sound, sunstone grasslands, Skymore Mountains, stone whisper caves. It's an alien wonderland.
And exploring this teaches them more than just biology.
The Xylosians constantly reinforce respect coexistence. Learning about the intricate connections in the ecosystem reinforces lessons from the Lumen, the planet's ancient vanished civilization.
Ah yes, the lumen, they find remnants.
They find ruins, and inside this massive crystalline sphere, an Ethereum core.
What does it do?
It's a living archive of Lumen knowledge, history, technology, philosophy. These Lumen were masters of energy, integrated tech with nature, had this egalitarian society based on collective intelligence. Then they disappeared.
So accessing this core gives the humans another huge leap forward, under Xylosian guidance, of course.
A massive leap. They develop Ethereum-powered generators far beyond their initial tech. Ethereum-based propulsion for vehicles, boosting exploration. It's transformative tech.
And philosophically, what do they learn from the lumen?
Holographic projections show a worldview focused on respect for all life, ecological harmony, a society without hierarchy or power struggles. Collective intelligence. It's profoundly different from Earth's history.
And they try to incorporate these ideas, not just use the tech.
They really try, experimenting with more collaborative, egalitarian governance. It's a struggle against old human patterns, but the Xylosians guide them on the ethical use of the Ethereum, ensuring it benefits all and respects the planet.
Sounds like this discovery triggers a kind of revolution in consciousness.
It deepens their appreciation for life, gives them a stronger sense of purpose. Using the Lumen's wisdom, guided by the Ethereum, becomes central to building that harmonious society.
But just as they seem to be finding balance, the peace is broken again.
It is. A signal arrives. Faint, alien, but different. Laced with a cold, unsettling energy.
Alara's team works on deciphering it.
Yeah, they pull fragments. Suggests a huge empire, advanced tech, a looming threat, a chillingly resolute purpose.
And then the other shoe drops.
They decrypt a bigger chunk, get an image. A massive obsidian-like vessel heading for Xylos. And a message. Resistance is futile. Prepare for assimilation.
It's the Voidbringers.
They're back! The same species that destroyed Earth.
And the source confirms why they're back.
Yes. They're described again as this parasitic entity feeding on planetary life force. Xylos, with its rich biosphere and especially the energy in the Ethereum core, is now their prime target.
The Council and Xylos must be facing pure dread.
Palpable fear. Scientists report what they know, shields, cloaking. Engineers scramble defense plans. Diplomats send out desperate calls for help to any other survivors or known species. Leaders try to keep morale up.
And help actually comes. This is where the alliance forms.
It is. The pleas work. Not just scattered humans respond. The Xylans arrive. Turns out they have ancient knowledge of the Voidbringers. And the Keplerians arrive, bringing their own advanced tech.
So humans, Xylans, Keplerians, uniting against a common enemy.
Exactly. Old distrust or unfamiliarity gets pushed aside by shared determination. The shared trauma, especially Earth's fate, forges a powerful bond.
Battle preparations must be frantic.
Intense. The Xylans have a countermeasure for the Voidbringer shields. Both Xylans and Keplerians provide advanced cloaking tech. The whole colony works non-stop. Dread mixed with defiant hope.
And the battle itself.
Long, brutal. Voidbringer weapons are devastating. But the Alliance fights smart. The Ethereum core boosts Xylos' shields. Keplerian weapons hit critical systems. Human forces target command centers. Xylans use bioweapons against the Voidbringer's organic components.
Hey, when?
They repel the fleet, yes. But the cost is immense. Heavy losses on all sides. Human, Xylan, Keplerian. Shared memorial services follow, strengthening their bonds.
And they learn from the captured ships.
Crucial intelligence about the Voidbringer structure, strategy, tech. This feeds directly into new defense plans, early warning systems, upgraded weapons using salvage knowledge. The threat isn't gone, but they're better prepared.
This battle feels like a massive turning point. From just rebuilding after Earth to actively defending their new home as part of a galactic community.
It solidifies everything, forces them into a true interstellar alliance for mutual survival.
Which leads us into this new era described near the end of the excerpts. Rebuilding, yes, but also interstellar cooperation.
Right, the focus shifts. Physical reconstruction continues, but so does the deep healing, now with added perspectives.
New healing techniques from the Allies.
Yeah, Keplerian meditation using energy work, Xylosian bioenergetic therapies connecting with the planet's life force. Human therapies adapt. It's this multi-species approach, leading to what the source calls a profound shift in collective consciousness, really embedding that sense of interconnectedness and resilience.
And building the future society now involves everyone in the Alliance.
Absolutely. Human engineers adapt Keplerian tech. Economists work on refining the equitable resource systems. Still, that conscious rejection of old Earth flaws, prioritizing well-being.
Governance evolves further.
Yes, reinforcing the rejection of hierarchy. Rotating leadership, distributed power, consensus decision-making becomes standard. Transparency, accountability are key, using tech like electronic voting, public records. It's a blend of human democratic ideals and Xylosian consensus.
Innovation still happens, but for the common good.
Definitely. Incubators, workshops support new ideas, but the goal is always collective benefit, not individual profit.
And the cultures start to genuinely blend.
Beautifully, it sounds like. Art, music, literature become this synthesis of human, Keplerian, Xylosian expression, sharing history, trauma, hope, healing through creativity. Even spirituality finds a synthesis. Elements of human faiths, Keplerian cosmic awareness, Xylosian nature reverence merge into something new focused on reason, respect, connection, inquiry, not dogma, resilience, cooperation, change.
Education reflects this too.
A multi-species curriculum. History, cosmology, science, all taught together. Focus on critical thinking, emotional intelligence, interspecies understanding. Learning is collaborative, holistic, using advanced tech but grounded in shared values.
Technology integration deepens.
Keplerian hovercraft become common. Xylosian energy systems power sustainable cities built with bioengineered materials. Waste recycling, hydroponics are standard. Tech is purely a tool for quality of life, understanding, community.
And the economy and justice systems keep refining those core principles.
The resource-based model gets more sophisticated. Interstellar trade is about reciprocity, benefiting the whole alliance. Restorative justice remains the focus, enhanced by tech but always aiming for rehabilitation and healing.
And they start reaching out further, establishing wider diplomacy.
Yeah, using their alliance contacts. They connect with the Cygnesons, experts in terraforming leading to agricultural breakthroughs, and the Zidonians traders with exotic materials and AI. That collaboration brings tech advances but requires careful negotiation, as the Zidonians are more mercantile, a reminder that not everyone shares their values.
So formal exchange programs become crucial, science and culture.
Key to strengthening ties. Scientific collaboration pools knowledge from everyone. Cultural exchanges promote understanding. Even the pragmatic Zidonians join in with trade fairs, which surprisingly helps build bridges. Success in collaboration seems to be the key to overcoming resistance.
So the excerpts end with this picture of a thriving, resilient, multi-species civilization on Xylos.
Yeah, a civilization built on the hardest lessons imaginable. Forged by war, shaped by loss, but ultimately strengthened by choosing collaboration, self-reflection, and unity across species. It's quite a transformation from where they started.
So let's try to wrap our heads around this. What does it all mean?
Well, we've followed this incredible arc, haven't we? From a cult based on, frankly, elaborate lies and misplaced faith.
Right, Eleanor's commune.
To facing near-total annihilation, surviving through sheer grit and unexpected help, and then consciously, painstakingly rebuilding not just structures, but an entire way of being. A society built on healing, radical cooperation, and deep self-examination, involving multiple species.
The story of Emissary, as laid out here, really hammers home the dangers of blind faith, of unchecked power, whether as one person's charisma or a vast empire's might, and how easily tech and society can be twisted.
But, and this feels just as important, it's also a powerful story about resilience, about the capacity for change, for transformation, both in individuals like Eleanor and in a whole community. And the sheer potential unlocked when different groups choose cooperation over fear. It really underscores the need for critical thinking, adaptability, finding purpose, even after catastrophe.
It definitely leaves you with a lot to think about regarding survival and what progress even means. Okay, so here's maybe the really provocative question this story leaves us with. In a universe like this one, full of advanced powers and existential dangers, what's more crucial for long-term survival and genuine progress? Is it mastering the external better tech, stronger weapons defeating enemies? Or is it actually about mastering the internal, confronting our own flaws, biases, and building those difficult bridges of understanding and cooperation with others, even those vastly different from ourselves?
That's the core tension, isn't it? Where does true strength ultimately lie?
Something to definitely mull over. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the excerpts of Emissary.